elected
Very
officials.
vendors that you took money from.
But it doesn't end with Mr. Chacon's resignation.
Ron
Okay?
Calderon,
There
Tom
must
Calderon,
be,
Doug
there
Wentz.
must be, excuse me, there must be an outside investigation led by the District Attorney's Office, the Public Integrity Unit, into what exactly has transpired here. In particular, how Central Basin General Manager
Who do you
was
want to replace?
able
Who do you want to replace
to
as new general
use-
manager? You realize this will
excuse
be
me,
5 general managers
was
in a little
able
over a year?
to use
It's a
money
joke.
to pay for an off-duty car accident of an uninsured board member, as well as his workers' compensation, without even notifying the board, okay? Central Basin could also benefit from greater oversight. I'm gonna call on our state legislature to introduce legislation that would require that each of these water districts create an independent ethics commission that will serve to take any complaints and conduct any investigations into any wrongdoing against both the elected officials and also its employees. I'm not here for political gain, Mr. Beikle.
Oh, give me a
I'm here,
break.
I absolutely
opportunist at
don't
the
take any
maximum.
pleasure in asking any of my colleagues to resign, but this is,
Why did
it's
you
not
not
about
report the
me
donation that
It's
I
about
made to your campaign? I have the
accountability.
receipts of it.
and getting back to the people's business. Like any CEO or executive of, as any duly elected member of the board, I'm privy to certain information. Therefore, when there are questions of misdoing, my role, I believe, is to bring it to the attention of the public and also to create accountability.
How much
That's what
money
I
have
was
you received
elected
from Pacifica?
to do.
And why are you voting on their contract
this
with
will
all the money
help-
you received from
Excuse
them?
me. This will help to foster restoration of the public trust. One of the things that we have.
Public trust? You're voting on a lawsuit that you took all this
excuse
money
me.
from these people? I mean, where's the public trust in that?
Excuse me.
Nestor, I hope you're listening to this, Nestor.
Excuse me.
You don't even know what's going on with this woman.
Excuse me. One of the things that we have been able to do here at Central Basin is we have been able to post our agendas online. I encourage you to watch the board meetings so that you can see for yourself exactly what is happening at Central Basin. To that end, I ask
I think you're talking about
that
the
my
videos,
colleague
not the
here
agendas.
resign, that the DA's office proceed with an official investigation into how this money was paid without the authority of the board. And I also ask that
Where's your
our
colleague
elected
Roybal? Is he
officials-
still in teacher's jail? That's why he's not here?
that our elected officials
I
demand
mean, it's
more
amazing how the rest of the
accountability.
press doesn't jump on the teacher's jail. Everyone knows he's in there.
Accountability for
That's your
great
colleague
years.
right there.
So with that, Mr. Apodaca, if you'd like to.
You've got to be kidding. Bob, you're going to speak with all the sexual harassment lawsuits you
Excuse me,
face.
sir.
You're a joke,
Excuse
sir.
Give me,
me.
oh,
Excuse
shit,
me.
Bob. Who brought in our Aguilar? Who brought in Tom
You've got
Calderon?
charges a mile long.
Who brought them in?
Good morning. My name is Nestor Valencia, and
I like to take a
12
picture
years
of this
ago,
one. Everybody's surrounded
I
with the sexual
came out
harassment.
and asked the DA, asked the LA Times to investigate the city of Bell, and they didn't. Instead, I was harassed. Instead, I was heckled. Instead, I was told very ugly things. My family was attacked. But that's all in being courageous and being a leader. I commend many people for being leading. I have certainly no personal vendetta or anything issue, although I can say there might be, with the Chacon or their family. I certainly can't speak to Ron here. I don't know him. I only know, of what I read and what I read about Mrs. Vasquez. Today and in July 2010, we came to the people because of the LA Times, because of the media finally covering our southeast and said there's wrongdoing. And you guys know what happened in Bell. This is about good government and trust. Now, before I came to do this public service, I'm very fortunate to have, a job outside of government. But before I did this, I was warned in many ways by my good friends, and then very ugly by some other people, that being a public servant was thankless. And what's the point, right? There is a lot to say about the Central Water Basin. In the city of Bell, months ago, we sent a letter unitedly to the legislators to please look into the Central Water Basin. Likewise, last night at our council meeting, we asked and supported an assembly bill that's going through to ask for more oversight and audit of not just Central Water Basin, which we've done before, but also of WRD. This is good government. This is for the good of all, including board of directors, whether they're asked to resign or not. It's good for the public, it's good for the taxpayer. We specifically asked that the fees allowed by the Central Water Basin and WRD trickle down, and I have no script here, trickle down to the water payer, to you. We're all connected in this. For a long time, the WRDs in Central Water Basin, as good a work they do, they have also gone, like in Bell, unaudited, not overlooked. I'm glad there's some media here, but Mrs. Vasquez is correct. People don't come to these things very easily because there's a form of intimidation. When we asked Mr. Ron Calderon to resign, before the indictment came about, a lot of people didn't want to be there. A lot of people didn't want to support Mrs. Garcia, which I have a difference with. But I'm very supportive of her asking for these resignations. Likewise, I'm very supportive of Ms. Vasquez of asking for resignation. There's no harm in that.
You need to know the truth about the woman you're
There's no
supporting,
harm in that.
mister.
There's no
She pushed two contracts
Let
through.
him speak.
No, Nestor, you need to hear this. She pushed two contracts through, one for Jazz Mechanic.
Let him speak.
With all due respect. With all due respect.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna let public opinion take care of Mrs. Vasquez. We're gonna let the media, and if need
I'm
be,
only
the
chiming in
DA.
because you're supporting her. You need to know the
You know, I'm
truth.
supporting good government.
Good
I'm
government
supporting-
and supporting her are two different
No,
things.
no.
You should know that, Nestor.
No. I know what I do here. I'm not in a script here, okay? And I just told you what I did with Mrs. Garcia. I have our differences, but I still support her. And there is legislation up there now that that Mrs. Garcia is introducing that will allow this to become better government and transparency. You have to give some certain people credit. There's courage. There's leadership. I even give you, Mr. Ron, some credit for leadership. I even give the Chacones some credit for leadership. But I also gave George Cole credit for leadership. There's times where you need to step back and say, you know, I better step back and let the wheels of justice prevail. But at the same token, you need to resign. You need to look and see that your board is not functional. It's dysfunctional, in fact. We need the people work to be done. There's in the charter for the Central Water Basin and the other one too, the Western, there is good things that happen for our water. Like there's good things happen for the WRD. But we can let these personal attacks and these things that happen in personal life, and I'll tell you, from a great guy that I know, his name is Pedro Paramo from WatchOurCity.com, when your personal life and the public touch is everybody's business. And I understand it. I've gotten a lot of heat from the prior administration, from the city of Bell. Look where they're at. Mrs. Vasquez is getting it, Ron is getting it, Cohen's getting it. It's not easy being public servants. But today we humbly ask, I humbly ask, and support Mrs. Vasquez, Mr. Chacon, to fall back, to resign. That's it.
And that's,
If he
that's
comes back,
based on his car accidents?
and looks well, that's great.
Let's go down,
Okay,
because the issues
but-
here are far greater than just a car
Well,
accident.
now that Nestor's
The
finished,
issues
let me
here are
educate
that
Nestor
we
on
have-
your contracts, Leticia. Leticia, who is Jazz Mechanic?
Okay.
Leticia, who is Jazz
Any
Mechanic?
questions you guys like to ask?
Leticia, who is Maurice Chenier?
Excuse me, but I'd like to say a few questions.
Hold on.
No,
hold
excuse
on.
me.
I'm going to take questions from,
Let-
because,
let's-
and you know what I would like you to
Thank
do?
you.
Is
Thank
I
you.
would like, Mr.
Anyways.
Chacon, I would like you to go down and talk about
I'm
why
here.
you've continued
Excuse me.
to
Who's the media?
accept $600
Excuse me, let's not be rude here.
allowance a
Let-
month.
Probably no media.
You
Hold
said
on.
what you had to say, now I want to say what I have to say.
And I'm gonna give you the chance.
Anyways,
to
let's not
answer-
forget who my colleague is here,
to answer
Leticia
this.
Vasquez, who got recalled in Linwood.
Wait, hold on.
And her colleagues there, a lot of them went to prison, and they're in prison now.
And you know why?
She was trying to hold conferences outside City Hall, and the FBI told her to not do it because they were going to file charges on her. Excuse me,
I understand,
Nestor,
Mr. and
hold on.
I
I brought the FBI to Linwood.
We're not doing a debate.
Which
No,
I brought
hold
the
on, hold
FBI
on.
to Linwood, and the reason
Hold on,
why people
hold
are
on.
in prison
Nestor, I
is
let you speak, I was
because
polite.
of
Now,
my
please.
efforts.
I understand,
That's why-
and normally I would not have a press conference.
Okay.
Anyways,
Linwood. So-
she has brought Linwood corruption to Central Basin.
Absolutely false. Yeah.
She has did a lawsuit. It's called the Key Temp. There are vendors
let me
here.
talk about
Excuse
that.
me. There are vendors here that are part of this lawsuit, and
I'm
she's
suing
taking
to
money
get money back
before.
for the rate
and also for yourself.
People
Also
you
for
took money
yourself.
from though. What kind of hypocrite is that, Leticia?
She has
You
took.
denied the lawsuit.
She has took
Because I'm not
15 to
suing
20,000 from one
You denied,
vendor.
you lied to
She
everyone.
took 15,000 from the
You have
Calderons.
your own
Don't be
agenda.
fooled by this woman.
You do.
You're a crook. You took money from people you're suing. What is that? Why don't you give back to the money the people you took from?
I got one more. She also, excuse me, she also voted to fire
You're
the
a
people
joke.
that discovered the slush fund. She's not telling you
That's
that.
not true.
This woman is full of tricks,
That's absolutely not true.
and that's all I got to say.
That's
Thank you very much.
absolutely
God
not
bless
true.
you.
Yeah. You should resign, Mr. Chacon, and also
I think
take
you should-
your
I think you should
criminal
resign along with
record-
me.
Your criminal record with you, because the people of this city do not deserve to have you as a
Tell us
representative.
about Jazz
Thank you.
Mechanic, okay? Who is she, Leticia? And tell me how